Hi, everyone. I hope God's been blessing you today. Today is March 14th, 2023. And today, my husband and I want to discuss how we feel about being part of a high controlled group religion. And so I think we're just going to get into it and talk about it. If you guys have any thoughts or comments, please leave them in the comment section. We're always willing to hear everyone's comments. So, how do you want to start? Like, I think that, well, since we both had a different view about the organization, why don't you start? Why don't you start? Because you were the one that kind of woke up first.
All right. Well, even when we were studying at the beginning, I would run across things that seemed weird and like corporate, you know what I mean? Just the way that everything was structured. They had like their own lingo, things, like their own stuff, you know, like they had their own stuff. Yeah, it seemed corporate, like it seemed like you were being trained the whole time, like web-based training.
We definitely saw that. We definitely saw that. Remember when we went to the first meeting and it was a Tuesday and we were like, what the heck are they doing? They were like up there at the thing and they're like acting like they're at the door. Right. And that was very strange.
And I should have stayed with my first instinct where I was like, that's culty as shit.
Yeah.
But of course, I was trying to think past that and be open to, you know, theology and God and, you know, learning.
Well, and plus we were both told that they were a cult when we were younger, but we needed to, personally, I needed to see for myself because I didn't believe that.
I didn't really know what to believe. I mean, I've heard it from tons of people too, but yeah, I said whatever because I was open to, you know, learning. So I said, why not give it a crack? And over the time when studying, when we run into like weird things where they'd say like, oh, we have to listen to direction from the governing body no matter what. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Like you can, I'm not doing it. And like I would say stuff like that at first, then I noticed it wasn't received well. So after that, I just shut up and kept to myself. But I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Just like when we saw the kid that was disfellowshipped.
Yeah,
and he was in the Kingdom Hall.
Yeah,
and
we wanted to say hi. Yeah. I said hi. Yeah, I said hi. Yeah,
and we wanted to talk to him. We wanted to like
welcome him there, and we were happy he was there. Yeah, everyone was mad.
Yeah, they noticed that we did that, and they don't like that. So that wasn't.
Yeah, we were probably on a different kind of list than other people.
Yeah,
we definitely went against the grain. I mean,
like all the time.
Well, you know what it is personally for myself, I wasn't gonna change. I wasn't changing for them. Like the person that I am right now is the person I've always been. And even when we were in the organization, this is how I talk. This is how I talk. I can't just change it. I'm 50. I've been acting this way my whole life, and I don't see nothing wrong with it. Like, I felt like they were trying to change me, change my look, change the way that I talk, change my vocabulary. I mean, I felt very like put down more than raised up, to be honest.
With that, I notice now that they like basically it's narcissistic abuse done through Bible-based teachings, so that it's religion too, but it is like narcissism and narcissistic abuse, and they breed those types of people where, you know, nothing's ever good enough. And you're Jehovah's people, so you have his standard, so you get to make that judgment.
See, and I didn't like that at all. I didn't,
No.
you know how you said you saw that some of the things that you said weren't taken well, and so then you started to be quiet. I actually saw things and never I would see things that they would say and I didn't agree with it, and I'd say nothing to nobody. I just knew
But
I
we would
wasn't.
talk about it after when we left.
Not
Like,
all the
yeah.
time though. Not all the time though, because I actually didn't think, like, I thought I was not believing some things that you were believing, because I couldn't tell if you were believing it, and I didn't want to be the one to, like, if you believed it, to be the one to push you out of it. And so I just, I don't know, I just believed what I believed. If it was positive, I kept it. If it wasn't positive, I wasn't believing it, just like I said in my other video with the recording. Like that, I was trying to be honest with them. That's, and for them to say that every single thing that comes out of the governing body member's mouth they believe, like, that's terrible. Like, you shouldn't be believing every single, and that's what I did my whole life. That's why I know it's terrible. That was before I even got into this religion, you know. So how do you feel now? Like, how do you feel now? Because I was watching, and I will link these two channels, Just June and the Mad Bloods, I think it's called. They had an interview with June and her husband, and it was really good. And I'll link them both in the description box. But I was watching what the interview with June and her husband, and I kind of feel a little bit the way that June does, because I know that people, call all this stuff culty and, cult and everything. And I was telling my husband just the other day, like, I still kind of cringe inside when someone says that we were part of the cult, or even when we're talking about that we were part of it. It makes me ashamed. It makes me feel like I can't believe I fell for that. But then I have to really look at, why did I fall for it? Like, and I'm in therapy, and I talk about this because it's very hard to get out of the mindset, especially me, because before getting into this religion, I was in abusive, controlling relationships, so I know that you don't want to be in those. I didn't want to be in them, and I didn't think that this was one. Like, I was really snowed, definitely snowed. I believed everything they were saying, and I think because I really wanted the world to be a positive and, wonderful place to live, it was easy to get me to fall for it.
The paradise earth is the bait.
And you know what? You were saying something about, we both remember, like, having to go in field ministry. And the first thing they said to us is, we're looking for the 3 H's: humble, honest, and hungry. And the more I think about that, when my husband just said to me the other day, like, that's how they get you. They're looking for the gullible, the naive, the meek, the people like us,
the people in need. They're
like
spiritually they're broken at that point.
Yeah, and
they need somebody.
It's like they
need something, and they need God.
And you know what makes me the saddest is the fact that I'm not talking about most of the members. I'm talking about some of the elders, some of the members. I mean, I know that in the interview that I watched, both June and her husband both said, like, it depends on the congregation, because holy cow, we were in a congregation where everybody was related. Like, there was 3 main families, and when I mean main, they were like grandfather, son, all the grandchildren, their kids maybe, and there was 3 of those families, like chucked
Generations,
in there, right? And all of them, right? All of them elders, all of them like either elders or ministerial servants, or they pretty much like ran the place. And if it wasn't you, like if you didn't, if you weren't part of that, you weren't part of that. You could tell. And every time you try to tell them, oh, these people in here, not really like talking to you, whatever. Oh, what are you talking about? I talk to you all the time. Like, I don't know if anyone watched the other video with the recording. I'll put that in the description box too. But one of the elders specifically says in my recording that people were asking him, oh, where's Tracy? And he was like, oh, I would tell them, oh, she's doing good. Why don't you give her a call? Why are they asking him? Why can't they just call me? They knew my phone number. Like, why do you? I don't believe that anybody asked about me. Not once. I don't believe anybody did, because the people that did talk to me, they talked to me. They called me. They sent me letters, cards, and talked to me on the phone. So I don't believe that he was getting a bunch of people to say, where's Tracy? I don't believe that at all. What do you think? What do you think about like what
Well,
how do you think you got into it, like without noticing?
without noticing.
Yeah, like how did we get stuck in this
Well,
group
um,
of controlling people, but we didn't
most of the time I tried to overlook things, and some of it I couldn't. And I mean, over time, those would build up to like, like I'm putting my foot down, to the point, eventually and I started researching the organization, and then I asked about the publications, and then like instantly, they, why do you want to see those? And I was like, oh, something's there. So then I started looking more. And then once I found out, I'm like, why do I want to? I don't want to be here. It's just bullshit, and I can't make myself lie to myself and go trick somebody else into joining. Sorry, I swore, but I can't do it. I can't make somebody else do that when I'm like literally at the end of my rope, super unhappy. I was getting suicidal again, and I just wanted out. And I'm like, no way, I'm not. I don't care. I'm not taking the abuse from them. Like, you're never good enough. Like, the whole thing set up like that. Like, oh, Jehovah's going to destroy you, and I'm getting, well, whatever. Then I'm not going to really. Whatever. No, sorry, that sounds a little petty.
And I don't believe that. See, that's the other thing, is there's so much stuff, and I don't know about anyone else, but I know that I didn't see one person, in the Bible. Like, I seen everybody in the publications. Nobody was
Publications.
Yeah, it's all publication, book, Wake magazine, this, that, track, this, that, video, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what about the Bible? Like, what about the Bible? How about we go into the Bible? I think that was the biggest thing when I had said that I had been reading the Bible only since I got out of the hospital, and Jim's voice on that recording, you could tell, I think he was like, oh, because maybe they know. See, that's what
I
makes
think
me.
some of them do know.
That makes me very sad.
And they'll lie to themselves and stay there because now, especially if they're elders, they have like a position of power over everybody else, and there's people that love that, and they'll stay in there and become like mega abusers because they can, and they'll get away with it because of God. And like, oh,
Yeah.
I dislike those people probably the most.
And
those are the worst snakes on the planet.
And sadly, those are the ones we have to pray for, because they're the ones that are misleading all of the rest of us. They're misleading everybody else. And I know that everyone else doesn't like this is the thing. I've watched a lot of people now that have left the organization, and I can see there's a lot of anger, like, from everyone that I watch, and it makes me sad because I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be angry at them. I want to try to help them get out of it, because I can kind of what June's husband said to her, if I tell you, you're never gonna not hear it. So like, and that's what's going on. Like, I see it so much now, like just on a daily basis, I see it. I mean, I just saw one of the elders. Who was the one I just saw the other day and one of the ministerial servants, the one that works at the hospital.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he saw me. I was totally gonna say hi, put his head down, and he's a security guard at the hospital. I'm like, really? Like, what is it that I'm gonna do? Like, why does everyone need to put their head down?
Because they're abused. They're abused.
But are they
spiritually and like that's mental abuse through their publications.
Okay, but
that keeps them in that mindset.
Now, are they putting their head down because
they're doing it for Jehovah? They're being loyal to Jehovah.
See, and I wonder sometimes, are they ashamed? Are they really ashamed of the fact that they've acted like they loved us for 5 years, and then all of a sudden, overnight, you're able to like, how in the world is somebody able to just walk away? I still love most of the people there. I still care about.
I believe that's psychological damage that they received from
years of being
years of that being repeatedly driven into their head, and they've been programmed. They're literally programmed to act that way. That's what I noticed, like when I would ask questions and they all sounded like
the
automated,
same. Oh my goodness,
automated robots. And
all the answers were the same.
I was like, oh my God, this is a corporation. This is literally, they're just like corporate robots.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't go be this person. Like I was happy going in.
Yeah, because we thought we found,
and I had zeal and everything, and then they just sucked the life out of me. So miserable, and I'm like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, come on. First of all, you don't have time to do anything else. So pretty much, I agree with June and her husband. Like there's no time for nothing. Like literally, and they make you feel like crap. Like, first of all, I like 3 sisters.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
I had 3 sisters that kept telling me to quit my job, because my job was causing all my anxiety and stress, and they would show me that I love Jehovah, because Jehovah would take care of me if I quit my job. And so I was thinking to myself, like, what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not just gonna quit my job. Like,
he'll take care of you.
See, the thing is, they want you to go to do all these other things.
They would hype that up like,
and at the beginning, I thought that was good. I said, oh wow, this is like they're already living in the paradise. Like, I kind of thought, oh, okay, it's like they already are living there. But then I was like, wait a minute, why are they so much in fear? And like, they're always talking about Satan. They were always talking about the devil. Like, always. Like, every single time we went there, they would say something about Satan.
At the beginning, when we were studying, they were hyping up Bethel like it was the best thing you could ever do. Run out and join Bethel and serve. Oh boy.
Or go where the need is greater. Like, move away. Oh, sell your house and move away.
House.
Like, it's like,
tell all your family, kick rocks, because now you're a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
And then go to Bethel.
Yeah.
And then what? Then you wake up. What happens when you wake up there? Like, you're trapped in a place. You told your whole family to kick rocks, and now you're stuck there. But where are you gonna go?
That's right. You're gonna stay there. And then what happens if you've served there? Yeah, I was gonna say, well, what happens to what happens to the people? So now we had discussed this, and I'm going to put it out there to everyone else. Like we were thinking about it. Like a lot of the people at our congregation are, they've been in there for at least, I would say at least 40 years and up. So like between 40 and
they were like
60 years. Okay, they've been there for that long. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, so someone that's in their 80s that has been there, I would never go and tell that person, oh, this is a whole like cult and you should get out of it. No, I wouldn't tell that person that. You know why? Because God can read our hearts and our minds, and God knows who's there for God and who's there for the organization. And you can see it. Like you can see it. I was able to like tell going in, okay, those people aren't really here for God. They're here for like, probably what you said, yeah, like to be over people or whatever.
Yeah.
And
well, they all desire a position. You know what I mean? Like that's their whole.
And see, to me, I'm like, what? Why do I don't need a position? My position is being the child of God. That's all I wanted. That's the only position I wanted. I don't need to be over anyone. I don't want to be over anyone. I don't want to be in charge of a whole bunch of people. Are you kidding me? Like, they should be scared that they're in charge of so many. They put themselves there. I don't care what Jim says. They put themselves there. He claims that Jesus picked them. No, it's not in the Bible anywhere that the governing body members were picked. No. And if it was, how come I'm reading the Bible and I don't see anything about now there's 2 more being added? So Jesus got it wrong? Like he got the amount wrong? Like, come on. I don't know.
Yeah. The other thing that like got me too was the baptized publisher.
Yeah, that was something that
not
you
a
said.
Baptized Christian, not Christian, like was supposed to follow Christ. They claim they're Christians, but they never really talk about Jesus, Jesus Christ.
Well, they do now because the memorial's coming. So that's the only thing they're going to talk about.
Christianity, it kind of has a direct correlation to Jesus Christ.
Right.
Who they just deny all the time anyway.
Well, they claim they're them.
But they had the baptized publisher was a huge red flag that just screamed corporation. Like you work for a publishing corporation and for free, and you work for an organization, you work for them for free, and they're going to dictate to you what you can't do. That's cool.
All right. So now that we have like well, I mean, we know we're not going to go back. And so now I guess my question is like, where do we go from here? Me personally, I had like I'm still having a hard time with this. Like I'm kind of kicking myself for leaving, making the decision to leave, because I feel like I left so many people there behind. Like I feel like if I was still there, I could have somehow maybe gotten to these people, but now none of them want to talk to me, so I don't think that I'll be able to help them. But it took me a while. It took me a while.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense why people would ask about you and then not have contacted you because they were told not to talk to you because of a bad situation.
Yeah.
So that's why they would ask about you instead of actually getting a hold of you.
Yeah.
So now it makes sense. Yeah.
And so again, there's a lie, because Jim would say, "Oh, we'll call her." And call her. So his father and his mother. Okay, so this guy's parents are in there, right? One of them was on the call with him. So Brother Smith, don't care. He was on there. And him and his wife went to another person's house and literally talked to this person and said, you can't talk to Mike and Tracy anymore because they're disfellowshipped and you can't. And she was like, what are you talking about? I talked to them. I'm still going to talk to them. And thank God she wasn't like the rest of the people, because there are people that I really thought would have still been talking to us, but they're not. And it's just like so sad, because I'm trying to little by little still send out some things to try to wake up people. Yeah, but it's so like I was gonna say, it took me a long time to realize that it's not really up to me, I guess. I'm praying for them, and that's all I can really do. And then God's the only one that knows anyway what's in everyone's minds and hearts. So I can't really be like, oh, they're never going to be saved. I think they will be. I keep a positive outlook. I think that they will. I think the more that the stuff's coming out about the organization with the CSA and like all these shootings, like why the guy shoot? Why the guy shoot? Why would they go there? Oh, maybe because maybe they were disfellowshipped and they were being treated like us. Like you're being treated like you're nothing. And that's not what God doesn't want us to treat each other like that. I don't understand. Like, I don't even know where they get that. And they think that that's a good thing. Like, it doesn't make sense. What about you? Where do you go from here? Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to stay abreast to what's going on, or?
Well, the thing with waking people up, that's a difficult thing to do because people, their families are in there and things that, just there's so many things that keep them in. So it's a difficult thing to do is to try to go wake people up. I think the best thing you can do is to be there for when the people wake up and they're hurt, they're like, emotionally destroyed and spiritually damaged, and they're a lot of times they're in a bad spot.
I agree.
And I can see how it would be like almost like AA is there for alcoholics when they want to quit drinking. Like I go to it. And it's there for the people who want the help, who need the help.
Yeah, they're not really knocking on people's doors.
You can't just knock on everybody's door, take the drunk guy and make him go get help.
Right, you're right.
Like waking him up. You can't just make them wake up and leave.
Yeah.
You can pray for it. Absolutely. You can, but the best thing to do is just be there for the people when they come out, because
yeah, we know how hard
it was so hard.
And it's so hard. Like every day I think still down on myself. Like, am I thinking right? Did I make a huge mistake? Like, I think that still, like, I'm like, are they really right? And did I screw up everything? But I don't
if you read the scriptures.
Yeah, because I believe the scriptures.
Because of Jesus. Sorry, I left for Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough though when I was going through it, and just like I couldn't do it in my heart. It wasn't there, and I couldn't go try to get somebody else to do it. And it was tough because I know you kind of wanted to stay in it, and what I already knew about him, I was just like, man, I thought I was going to lose you. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I couldn't do it anymore. Like the Holy Spirit that's in you, that's saying, stop, this is wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Made me leave.
Yeah.
I had a crisis of conscience and I couldn't stay there. I just couldn't do it. When I left, it was kind of a bittersweet, I guess. I mean, there's a couple of people I really liked. Now, not so much, just because that mindset, the cult mindset that's got them locked in. I mean, I feel bad for them. I pity them. I don't wish anything ill against them. I feel absolutely horrible that they've been consumed by that
for so many years. Yeah. No, that's what I was going to say earlier. Like, if you've been in it for like 40 to 60 years, You ain't gonna get out. Like, what if you've been, let's say you were in Bethel, we had said that. Like, what if there's people been in Bethel,
Oh, the
right?
Bethelites
And they're,
just
and let's say they've been there for like a good 40 years. According to the organization, they don't want you to have 401k. You can't have money put away. You can't. So when you get out of there, what do you get? Because if you're not getting paid for working there, you don't even get unemployment. You can't get, Social Security. Like, I would never say
you
anything
get
to any of them.
provide, Jehovah will provide, and it
Yeah,
goes on to another member. You
another
become
member. Yeah,
somebody else's.
yeah.
Now they have to deal with it. It's not the corporation that has millions
It
of
has all
dollars
our money. Yeah.
that has all these building projects that
Mhm.
just can never give it back to you.
Yeah. They can't just build you a house and be like, here you go. And they can't build houses or help people that aren't in the organization. I don't get that either. That makes me upset because that's not the way we're supposed to be treated. I wouldn't treat somebody like that. And that's one of the reasons why I had to get out, because I'm like, all right, we definitely got to get out of this. Well, there's tons of stuff we could talk about. Yeah, tons of stuff. But we're gonna stop here for today, and leave your comments in the comment box below, and
Right. And I'll be back on.
Yeah, because we got more to say, more to talk about. We hope you have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the next video.